Why did I decide to sew these hats myself and sell them on Etsy instead of buying the hat, maybe even with the patch, and just personalizing on my laser machine? In this video, I wanted to break down the myth because oftentimes we hear you need to buy it from China for very cheap and you sell it here for much more. Profitability is much bigger and scalability is limitless because you have limitless amount of products you can buy from China and you're not limited by your own production. In this video, I wanted to really break down those myths and show you guys that making your own product might actually be the better strategy than trying to do things like the traditional drop shipping would advise. Hi guys, my name is Vlad. I'm a top seller on Etsy who shares all the secrets. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification for more video like this. And in fact, I'm working on a video with 50 Etsy tips that will help you scale your Etsy business. In fact, it helped me and I'm gonna give you 50 of those. So make sure to hit the bell because that video is gonna come out here soon. You don't wanna watch that video a year from now. So recently I decided to sell infant baby hats and I decided to sew these myself. Why? Well, here's the point. And I do this with a lot of product. There's some products that I do buy and we just personalize them. We just embroider on them and that's fine. But I find that the products that we make here in the shop tend to perform better on the market for reasons I will explain. And they tend to have much better profitability from those products. If we look at the way Etsy works, Etsy essentially is a social media form of e-commerce. What do I mean by that? When you have the ability to create something, if you have a sewing machine and let's just say you have a library of fabric and you can pretty much make anything. If you are an artisan or a creator that makes stuff, then Etsy is more of a social media platform for you to post your creative work and the ability to make money from when you do that. Now, that's a very uncommon perspective on the YouTube because like I mentioned in my previous video, oftentimes the trends on YouTube don't accurately represent what Etsy is all about. What Etsy is, it's the ability to make handmade goods. And when people go to Etsy, they find unique creative products that they wouldn't find anywhere else. You having the ability to bring a product to market with as little amount of friction as possible is going to be the best business model for you to align yourself with Etsy. So if you have a sewing machine and you have fabric and you can bring a product to market, one day you can make one product, take a photo, post it. The next day you can make another product, take a photo and post it. That ability will create a lot more opportunities for you to create the winning product, creating the product that the market just starts to pick up and nibble at. So if you are buying a bulk from China and you're committing to that product, you're really hoping that that product performs well. But the person that sews the products or make the products themselves, they don't have to commit that much. They just need to make one product, take a photo and post it. And if that doesn't perform well, we'll just move on to the next product they're gonna make. They have the ability to modify the product or change the product, create different variations, and they have a much better chance for success because they have a friction-free opportunity to bring a unique product to market more often than people that either buy drop shipping. But what about profitability and scalability? Isn't Etsy or Handmade, that's pretty much the biggest barrier for really growing the business? Well, let's talk about profitability. When I started selling my dog collars, I realized that in order for me to really bring one design to the market, I would have to buy 3 different sizes at minimum, small, medium, and large. Then there's extra large, there's extra small that you would kind of be limping on not to be able to have it. Your conversion rate is going to be smaller than the one that does have all the sizes. But let's just say we go for the 3 sizes. Well, if we are going to buy one floral collar, dog collar, well, we have to buy an inventory of 100. It's a little bit more expensive than you would think. So you would have to have 100 large, 100 medium, 100 small. That's 300. If you're going to have gold buckles and black buckles, because the people like to have different types of buckles and silver, well, now you need to times that by 3. So now you're buying 900 quantity in order to have 100 quantity of each collar. And so now you would have to invest into 900 inventory to even bring one floral dog collar to the market. You're saying, well, Vlad, that has nothing to do with profitability. When you're a new shop or when you're just starting, for you to have a lot of the inventory sitting on the shelf, you can be selling 5 units a day of this listing, but you have 900 quantity sitting in the shelf for one design. It's a lot of money that you need to come up beforehand and invest to be sitting on the shelf. So you're not profitable with that product for a very long time. And let's just say you do that with another product and another product. Now you're having a lot of products sitting on the shelf that is not profitable. Versus for me, all I have to do is invest into 3 different fabric types, 3 different rolls of fabric. Let's just say it's sitting on the shelf. First of all, it'd be much less in terms of dollar signs. And 2, I can make small, I can make large, I can make infant, I can make baby, I can make toddler, I can make adult, adult small, adult medium, adult There's so many sizes I can post, and I just know that it's just sitting on a roll and I can sew it at any point. In terms of per unit, yes, it's definitely more expensive, but having been profitable from its overall business, it makes more sense, especially in the context of Etsy. For most of the people that don't have millions of dollars into invest into inventory, you are actually more profitable with this kind of business model. You don't have money sitting on the shelf. You have money that is doing the work in your business, which allows you to become more profitable, because that same amount of money you can invest into equipment that make the production process even faster, which means you're accumulating profitability much faster. Now, what about scalability? Well, that's just the thing. When you are becoming more profitable, you are able to acquire more equipment. You are able to make the process even simpler. Now, per unit, yes, China will always, or India will always outperform you. But if your process is very efficient and you're able to make 100 units within 2 hours, well, it's just pennies when it comes to per unit. Because if you order thousands and thousands of quantity from China, yes, your price overall will be smaller, but you most of the time will not commit to that much quantity, because remember, you want to bring as many products to the market. You're going to order a quantity of 100, which means the price tag of that is going to be much higher. At that point, you might even be able to match that price from your production or manufacturing you can set up in your shop. And you're more likely to get to a point where you will require scalability when you make it yourself than if you buy product from China and dropship. And the best benefit of all of that, when you do acquire the equipment that help you perform much faster, when you are dealing with scalability and you have income coming in, you're like, man, I can scale this thing. When you buy the equipment is able to do other products. And when you do have the ability to make other product, you add value to the market even more, and that creates more traffic. So for example, on my recent shop, this is what's been happening. And the reason why it's been happening is, let's just say if we're selling t-shirts, then we bring a sweater, then we bring a hat, then we bring a beanie, then we bring, and it's just a variation of those products that you're able to add to the market that does bring you a lot more traffic from even somebody that wants to buy a beanie comes to your shop, but they end up buying a t-shirt or vice versa. And so now you're having more traffic. Why? Because you're bringing new keywords, new products to the market. When you have a wider set of equipment or wider set of skills that you are acquiring as you are scaling, you're actually scaling much faster on a bigger scale, because you have the ability to bring more product to market with less friction. And if you have a stack of wood for your CO2 machine, there's so much more you can do out of that. If you have rolls of fabric and you have equipment or sewing machines that allow you to make all the kind of product, well, scalability is not going to be a problem. You are actually more likely to scale because you have more options, more opportunities. Now, here's the thing. In the small seasons like July 4th, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's, you can tap into those seasons because you have the ability to bring another product to market that costs you no effort at all. So check out this video if you really want to bring your Etsy game to a whole nother level. All right, thank you, and I'll see you there.